Hello, Darlene.
Hello, Brian.
We're on the roof again.
We are indeed on the roof.
Uh, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about day 27.
Right. So, are we going to call it the Fat Husband series
I think we can eliminate the fat.
or Struggles with Obesity?
Struggles with obesity works. What do you think?
I, li- I like
It's your gig.
I like them both. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is day 27.
Yes.
I lost 1.5 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, please. So I'm down 23 and a half all told. That's over 27 days, and I feel good. So I weigh 208 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was hoping we're going to be going home in less than 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I was hoping to be down under 200 when we went home.
You're inching down there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be close, and it doesn't matter. But
Doesn't matter.
I'm
You're going the right direction.
yeah, I'm working towards that. So yesterday, I eat one meal a day. I ate that meal in the morning. It was 1,300 calories. It was delectable.
So you said.
Yeah, ground beef,
Yeah.
ground pork,
Yeah.
curry sauce on
Yeah.
it,
Nice.
and quite a bit of spinach, right?
Yeah.
And it was
frozen spinach.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was about 10 grams of carbs total.
Yes.
That's total carbs.
Yes.
And my appetite was good. Anyways, last night we went for a long walk. I was a little bored.
We saw a dinosaur.
We saw a dinosaur selling ice cream, so Darlene bought some ice cream. And I mean, God bless him. This kid was probably 10 or 12 years old,
He
just a
wasn't
little
very
kid.
old.
And he pushes this cart, little ice cream cart around all day, 95 degrees, and he's wearing a furry dinosaur suit. Now it's cute, but it's got to be unbearable.
I don't know how he does it.
He's a skinny little kid anyway.
So we're going to go look for him again tonight.
So needless to
Yeah.
say, Darlene buys ice
So
cream
I
all the
bought
time.
ice cream.
And-
You watched me lap that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to go find him tonight.
Yeah.
But we're getting off track once again.
So on the way home from the
Right.
ice cream,
Yeah. I didn't have any ice cream, but I did grab 2 beers, right? No carbs, 2 beers, probably 600 calories, right? Whatever. And I had a 1 ounce little piece of cheddar cheese.
yes.
And that was me, you know,
That was
like
you going wild.
that was me going nuts, right?
Yeah.
And I was still down weight this morning. So, and the reason is, so I ate probably 1,800 calories all told. I was still under 10 grams of carbs,
hmm
but I walked 20 kilometers plus.
Indeed.
Right. So that's kind of, I know what I have to do, and it's working well. So,
Do we have a couple of people we wanted to talk about today?
yeah.
Who had an influence on your
Yeah.
journey? Yeah.
So when I lost all the weight when I first retired, which was 125 pounds, I did it pretty quick, but I did it the white knuckle. I did Weight Watchers, right? Like I ate carbs and stuff, but I walked like a madman.
Yeah.
And I ate as little as I could, even though I was starving all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, I muscled through. Towards the end of it, I watched a video. What was his name?
The diet doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Andreas Enfield?
Enfeld.
No, Enfeld?
Yeah, he's
Check
Swedish,
my notes.
right?
Yeah.
He's the diet doctor, Swedish
Enfeld.
guy. And he discussed some things, like we're not scientists, right?
No, but I have watched Star Trek.
Yeah, I know. So the transporter was great, wasn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, he said some of the confusion in Sweden, like their food pyramid, like the food guide, is similar to ours, right?
Okay.
And he said it was a cause and correlation error, right back with Ansel Keys,
Okay.
when they came up with the food guide back in the 50s or whatever, or 60s, whenever they did it.
Sorry, and Ansel Keys, was he American?
Yeah, he was a U.S.
So
guy.
that was the U.S. food guy that he was involved in?
He was the guy that was involved in it, but
Okay.
a lot of developed countries followed suit with what the
Okay,
U.S.
so
did.
Sweden did.
Right, and they said
Okay.
heart disease was on the increase. Everybody ignored the fact it was with an increase in smoking and sugar consumption after World War II.
Okay.
And actually during World War II, heart disease dropped dramatically,
Okay.
and it's because sugar was rationed,
Ah,
right?
okay.
Everything was rationed, like all of those things, right?
Okay.
But anyways, he just said that he was looking at things in Sweden, right?
Mhm.
And he'd noticed that and he said countries can track consumption easily, right? Because they know how many tons of butter is imported, manufactured, and sold.
Oh,
Because there's boards that manage it, right?
yes.
So
sure.
it's not like, so the Dairy Association of PEI can tell you exactly how many liters of milk is sold.
True that.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said it was very simple. And what he noticed, and again, he said you have to look at it scientifically, but since the new food guides came out in the 70s, and he said they actually stopped eating butter, right, and fats,
That was bad. For
and they
you.
increased their consumption of sugar and refined carbohydrates.
Right.
And even like brown bread is still as bad as white bread, right?
Yes.
There's no benefit to that. But his consumption of that went up as they recommended. He said heart disease also went up,
Okay.
right? And diabetes went up.
Okay.
So he said he started looking at it, and he was one of the early guys that said he thought there was a problem, and that the fat was the healthiest way to eat, and it was the sugar and the carbs doing all the damage.
That wouldn't have been a popular
And nobody
view.
believed him,
Right.
right?
Right.
What was the other guy? Gary Taubes? So
Gary
these are people,
Taubes, yeah.
if you're interested at all in looking, he was one of the first guys, right?
Yeah, that we watched.
Yeah, but he wrote one of the first
Yeah.
guys that wrote a book and published
great
it saying,
videos. Yeah.
yeah, there's been a big mistake, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, the standard people that take, like right now, the Canada Food Guide, if you spoke to anybody involved with that, like including hospitals or dietitians, they'd say, oh no, all these guys are blowing it way out of proportion. This is still the correct way to eat, right?
Yeah.
But the proof is kind of in the pudding, so to speak, right?
So to speak.
If every developed country where people are getting heavier, right?
And statistics prove that.
And
I
the
think.
statistics prove, no,
Yeah.
it proves they're following the food guides.
Yes. And
by the
getting
consumption,
larger.
then maybe they're getting the wrong message. Maybe that's just possible,
Yeah.
right? So there was the diet doctor from Sweden.
Yes.
Look at some of his videos.
Yes.
Again, very sensible, laid-back guy,
Yeah.
right? Gary Taubes, great information, really smart guy, right?
Yeah.
These guys are all pretty smart guys, right?
Indeed.
And
And
the last
our
guy
favorite.
is my favorite, and his name's Butter Bob. His name's actually
That's
not Butter
his
Bob.
YouTube channel, or was his YouTube
No,
channel?
he was
that his
just, what was his name? Bob Briggs.
name? Bob Briggs.
right.
Is his real name.
But his first video that went viral was
Oh.
called Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off,
Yeah.
right? And he wasn't around forever, but this guy was I think he worked in a factory.
He's just
He was a regular guy, right? And he wasn't a doctor. I don't know what he
No.
did in the factory, right? Doesn't
But he
matter.
wasn't a doctor or scientific
Right.
person of any type.
And I think he lost 150 pounds.
Close to 150
Yeah.
pounds. Yeah.
And basically, so this is the kind of guy he was. He put together these videos
Yeah.
because he thought it was important people could learn from what he had done.
To watch what
Right.
happened. to
And
him.
he shifted from a high-carb diet that was recommended by his doctor to one high in healthy fats.
Yeah. Fried chicken.
Right. Right. And he said he just lost weight like crazy, never
Yeah.
felt better, all kinds of other benefits. But if you want to watch just a regular working stiff,
Yeah.
like pour his heart out and be honest
Yeah.
with what he did, watch go on YouTube and look
Google
up
Butter Bob.
Butter Bob.
Yeah.
And you know what? So the guy made about 50 videos, all very watchable.
Oh yeah.
And just all from the heart,
He's a
right?
watchable guy.
That he'd had all these health problems. And I think he helped some other people in his family as well.
Possibly. Yeah.
And then he started getting hate mail. People threatened to kill him and stuff. You know what I mean? Typical YouTube
Why are
stuff,
people
right?
so mean?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Why would somebody send me a message telling me I'm an old fat guy?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's crazy.
But we don't care, but
Yeah.
all that negative energy you put out into the
Right.
universe, it doesn't help anything.
Yeah, and I
folks.
mean-
Come on.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
you get messages. It's
I
just
know.
it's just from.
I know.
But if you don't want to get messages like that, don't make a YouTube video.
True that.
Right? Simple.
But, yeah.
But Butter Bob, I really liked the
Yeah,
guy,
we like
and
him.
you could tell that he was sincere.
Yeah.
Right?
And what he was
Right.
doing worked.
So, anyways, as long as we're being totally candid, some of the side benefits they say of a low carb, almost carnivore
Keto, carnivore.
diet.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. So most of the stuff you've heard along the way, there's nothing new. Like it's just yeah, right, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard the same stuff before, whether you believe it or not. But I had this problem, right?
Yes.
And since I started going off my diet, I started getting like my arms were itchy and my head was itchy,
To the
and I
point
started
where-
getting small sores.
Yeah.
Right.
You couldn't stop scratching.
Right. And Darlene would say, "Why don't you stop scratching your
Say,
head?"
Please stop scratching.
You know, you take the dog to the vet and they put the cone on his head. Darlene was going,
I thought that might work.
yeah, get the mitts, right? But I mean, so the reason I was itching my head and my arms is because they were constantly itchy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going through this one thing, and I think it was Dr. Barry. Right?
Yes. Dr. Ken Berry.
Yeah, I watched this video, and he said one of the signs, the early signs that your blood sugar is high, and you're diabetic, and you're out of control, is you start to get these rashes on your skin and scalp that are itchy. And I went,
Yikes.
I had no idea. But the one thing that kills me is I've only been back on track for a month, and they're all gone.
What's cleared up? Yeah.
But they're all gone, and they've all cleared up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's
in
not
all
just about-
honesty,
it's not just about weight loss. The
Right.
keto carnivore
Right.
thing has a lot of other benefits. The our friends,
Right.
Brad and Glenda mentioned.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
else did they say?
Oh, inflammation, like reduces inflammation.
And I found that already with my
Yeah,
knees,
yeah.
with joint pain.
Yeah,
Right.
depression,
Right.
like mood. It impacts your mood in a positive way.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, before I started the water fast, and I was really depressed.
Sometimes you cry for no reason.
It's because Darlene was calling me fat all the time.
Oh, now it's my fault. But yeah, it's not just about the weight loss. This can
Right.
be a really healthy,
Right.
all over, general.
So the thing
generally
is,
healthy
the
thing.
nice thing is, so if you don't want to do the water fast, that's fine. Like I said
Don't do
yesterday,
it.
do a
Yeah.
1-day water fast.
Yeah.
Doctors tell you to do a 2-day water fast and go
Before
in and
you-
have blood tests
before
done
you go in for surgery,
Right.
you're not eating
for a couple days.
for 24 hours at least or whatever.
Right.
So you're going to be okay.
Right, and people, like I said, I mean, without doing the big rant, people think if you don't eat for a day, you'll be just, if you didn't eat for 2 days, you just keel over in Walmart, you're laying on the floor, right?
It's going to be chaos.
It doesn't happen.
No.
So, yeah, but those are some guys that actually,
Yeah.
I found out just accidentally. The diet doctor, I thought he was like a Weight Watchers guy until I saw his video. And this is a guy telling you to eat butter, and Butter Bob, the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Bob's not telling you to eat butter.
Don't eat a pound of butter at a go, but
Right.
don't be afraid of healthy
Right.
fats.
Right.
Lard.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So Butter Bob, Dr. Infeld, diet
Yes.
doctor,
Yes.
and Gary Tobbs.
Yes.
Now, Gary Tobbs, that guy's a scientist, right? Like, I
Yes.
mean, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And really easy to listen to,
Yeah. That
right?
helps.
Yeah.
And don't you find that when you need a little not motivation, but every once in a while we'll revisit all these videos and watch them again just to, I don't know, reaffirms the path you're on, right?
Yeah, and I hate to say that I got off track, but like I've been through this before, and I kept saying this makes sense and this works, and then I got off track.
I know.
And as soon as I lost the carbs, they call it carb creep. As soon as I allowed the carbs to start coming back in, and we're both guilty of it, right?
Yeah.
So you'd say, so today we were out for groceries, and there was some iced tea there, and one of them said it was I mean, it was in Thai, so we're trying to read it. One of them said it was healthy iced tea.
Okay.
Right, Darlene's reading it, and what did it say?
28 grams of sugar for 2 tablespoons.
Per serving,
Yeah, per serving.
right?
But there was a time when we would have said, okay, well, that's sort of healthy. It's not 40 grams
Right, or you
of
would
sugar.
have, yeah, even in the last 5 years, you would have thought, oh, well, just
Well, it would have justified
I'll
buying
mix
it.
it a little lighter, it'll be tasty,
Yeah.
right? And you can't, so somebody that's been fat for a long time,
Yeah.
identify as fat,
Yeah.
you can't do it,
No.
right? So with you don't have the same trigger with carbs that I do, because you've never really been overweight, you've never had the problem with carbs, right?
No.
And you can eat carbs and then not eat the next day and you're fine.
Yeah.
Somebody like me, once you start back on that carb train,
Yeah.
it's going to end up taking you back
It's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah, it's going to be a train wreck. They're fun to watch, sort
No,
of.
they're not. No,
Okay.
they're not.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, those are a few of the guys that we find motivational. We like
Yeah.
the videos, and
Right.
they've kind of helped.
Oh yeah, and again, I've been looking more recently at, and it was Brad and Glenda that mentioned this Dr. Westman. I actually hadn't seen him, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he looks like Marcus Welby. I hope he doesn't mind that. But that's kind
a
of
young Marcus Welby.
right. But that's sort of the thing. He's
Yeah.
the wise doctor, and
Yeah.
this kind of thing. And I mean, when you listen to what he's saying, it's just all common sense. Like all of these guys, the one thing they have in common is everything rings true of common sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have that ring of truth to it.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear it, if you want to hear that message,
Right.
you'll enjoy watching those guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we done?
I think we're done for today.
Okay.
Bob. Way to go.
I know. Thanks for the support. I'm going to take her up
I'm gonna
to
go find a dinosaur.
for the ice cream again
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
It's for the kid.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.
Bye.